Pickleball Show, original air date 2/2/15.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
From Bainbridge Island to the Villages,
pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in America.
Buckeye to Abbotsford,
time out, baby, yeah! Woo!
St. George to Rochester and all points in between.
If you've heard of pickleball or you already play it, then you know.
This is the Pickleball Show.
This is Coach Mo from pickleballcoach.com, and here's the host of the Pickleball Show, Chris Allen.
Thank you, Coach Mo, and welcome to the show dedicated to helping you play better pickleball, winning pickleball, while having even more fun and meeting new friends who share your passion for this great game. I'm your host, Chris Allen, and this is the place to learn pickleball tips, tricks, strategies, find out about the latest equipment and upcoming tournaments in your area and around the globe. Now, are you saying to yourself, is this what I think it is? Could this possibly be? Is this what it sounds like? A sports talk radio show devoted to pickleball? The sport I love, the sport I'm passionate about, the sport that I'm addicted to? Well, the answer is yes. That's exactly what it is, and we're certainly glad that you joined us here. This is our very first show, so this is going to sound probably a little bit different than upcoming episodes. We're going to hear from the legends, the luminaries, the champions of the pickleball world, and get their advice on taking your game to the next level. We'd also like to hear from you as well. We've got a toll-free number set up. It's real easy to remember, and you can call it anytime. It's open 24/7. That number is 1-855-5PB-SHOW. That's 1-855-PB-SHOW. You can also email us. It's mail@pickleballshow.com. Find us on Twitter @pickleballshow. You're noticing a pattern develop here? Facebook.com/ wait for it, Pickleball Show. How easy is that? Consistency across the board. All right, like I said, this show is going to be a little bit different. Number one, a normal episode won't just be all my voice. And I hear you saying, oh, thank goodness. But today, it's pretty much just going to be me. First, I want to tell you just a little bit about myself. I'll share with you my pickleball story, how I came to discover this great game. After that, I'm going to play you some clips from upcoming episodes, just so it give you a taste of what you're in for and what you can expect and look forward to in the weeks to come. And then finally, I'm going to tell you just a couple of quick and easy things that you can do to help make this show a success. All right, you ready? Okay, first let me tell you a little bit about myself real quick. My name is Chris Allen, and I'm coming to you from the beautiful, the luxurious Pickleball Show studios located in Asheville, North Carolina. My wife and I have been living in Western North Carolina for coming up on 20 years now, and we really obviously love this part of the country. Now, a couple of years ago, we were ready for a change. We'd been in our house for about 18 years, and we thought, all right, let's change it up a little bit. We found a community that we really liked here, and we wanted to be a part of. And it's kind of a low-key little country club type community. There's a little golf course here and tennis courts and a pool and stuff, and it's nice. We love it here. Glad to be here. And I thought, well, I'm 52 now. Had just turned 50 then, and I thought, all right, you turn 50, you live on a golf course. Obviously, it's time to be the golf guy. Never played golf before, never played around. The closest I ever came to playing golf was playing putt-putt, when I was growing up. It's always seemed a little slow for me, and that's part of the reason why, I probably haven't ever taken it up before. But I like the faster sports. Normally, when I was a kid, I played a lot of ping pong. When I was a teenager and into my 20s, played a lot of tennis. Man, it was all about the tennis. And then in my 30s, switched over to volleyball. Just the tennis was starting to wreak havoc on my knees, and so I switched to volleyball. Did that for years. Got tired after a while of having my fingers jammed all the time, and plus some of the people I started playing with, they were really, really good, and they could just haul off and spike that ball like nobody's business. And I'm 6'4", so naturally I'm expected to go up and block every time. Putting my hand 6 inches away from that ball when they're about to rip the cover off of it, I thought, you know what, I kind of need my hands for the rest of my life. And so it might not be the best idea to stick them 6 inches away from those guys when they're about to, rip into the ball. So stopped doing that in my 40s and really didn't do much of anything till we moved here. And then I thought, all right, time to be relegated to the golf course. So one day the community newsletter comes out and it talks about the events that are coming up. And it says, oh, by the way, Mondays at 5 o'clock at the tennis courts, we're going to play pickleball. And it said, I'm sure some of you from Florida know what that is. But for those of you who don't, come check it out. So I thought, all right, it's on the tennis courts. I'd like to check it out and see what it is. So I go up there and wow, this is pretty cool. I'm watching it and I'm thinking, man, this is like all of the best things about tennis and about ping pong and even about volleyball, just the team aspect of it. These are like all the best things that I miss, all rolled into one. And I'm watching, I figured I'd just watch that day, and I'm watching them, and I'm thinking, all right, why are they saying 3 numbers with the score? What's that about? And they were really nice, and they said, hey, come over, give it a try here. And they were just using the wooden paddles, that came with the set, and started playing, and I loved it. I knew right away. I thought, this is great. Where has this sport been all my life, especially the past 10 years or so? How could it have stayed hidden from me for all that time? So you better believe I could not wait until next Monday at 5 o'clock rolled around. I was the first guy up there waiting to play. That went on for a couple of more weeks, and by that time I knew I was hooked, and it wasn't going to be enough. I'm on the internet. I discovered the usapa.org website with the where to play section. So I'm looking to see what other spots in Asheville are there to play this game, and there were quite a few. I was surprised and really, frankly, overjoyed because I knew that one day a week was not going to be enough. So I went to some different places and checked them out and had a great time, met a lot of great people, and one group in particular, and people were so nice there, just teaching me the ropes, showing me the ins and outs and what to do, what not to do, saved me from a lot of embarrassing moments. Not that I didn't have a bunch, but I would have had a bunch more without their help, so always indebted to them for that. And since then, it's just been all about pickleball. And to answer your question, no, I still have not played a single round of golf. This is my sport. This is what I want to do. And when I'm not playing it, I am learning about it, reading about it, watching videos, and talking about it. So, the next logical progression is, well, why not be the host of the Pickleball Show? So here I am, and glad to be here. So that's a little bit about me. On the court, I'm barely an intermediate player at this point. Like I mentioned, I'm 52. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall. So yeah, I know that gives me a little bit of an advantage. And you're probably saying, oh, a big advantage at the line. Yeah, I can reach over and I can get stuff, pretty big wingspan. But also, there's always a trade-off. I'm 225 pounds, so I'm not the fastest guy on the court. Plus, I'm a big target, boy. If I go in the kitchen and don't get out, hey, guess where they're aiming the ball? Right at me. So it goes both ways. Oh, and the other thing, physically, the big thing that everybody makes a point to mention is I'm left-handed. Oh, my God, a lefty, another one. Yeah, that's right. And, sometimes, boy, people, not opponents so much, but when you partner up with somebody, they get kind of worked up about it. Like, oh, left-handed, I got to switch this, I got to play this backwards, I got to do this. No, you don't. You really don't. Just play your game. I'll be fine. It's not like I've got the paddle, strapped to my foot or anything like that. It's just the other hand. That's all. So just play your game. We'll be fine. But more on that later. All right, so that's actually probably way more than you wanted to know about me, but there you go. When we come back, I'm excited to play you some clips from upcoming episodes, and you can hear from some of the experts and give you a little taste of what's in store in the weeks to come here on the Pickleball Show.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Welcome back to the Pickleball Show. I'm your host, Chris Allen, and now it's time to play some clips from upcoming episodes. Even though this is our first episode, we've actually been in production for a few weeks, and we've been fortunate enough to talk to some of the pickleball luminaries out there. One of them is the author of a great book that I got when I first started playing. I actually bought the Kindle edition of her book on Amazon along with my first paddle. And that book is, of course, the yellow book that you see popping up all the time. It's The Art of Pickleball. And her name is Gail Leach. Now, one of the things Gail and I talked about, I mentioned that with her book and the rules and the etiquette contained in the book, she's kind of like the Emily Post of pickleball. And I asked her, are there any pet peeves or faux pas, any common complaints that you get, either you experience yourself or you get from your readers? And here's her reply.
Well, it's the one, I suppose, that causes the most grief, and the one I hear the most about from readers who do write to me is about the serve. Men especially, and I won't say it's only men, but especially men do not like the underhand serve, and in some cases simply refuse to use it and continue with a sidearm serve. And it's so difficult. That one rule is the cause of so much controversy, being able to judge, is it waist high? Is it coming from underhand? And so on. It's a tough call, especially for tournaments. I don't envy those who are out there trying to make that call out there. But I've heard the most about that.
That is Gail Leach, author of The Art of Pickleball, and you can hear our full interview in an upcoming episode of The Pickleball Show. And be sure and pick up her book, The Art of Pickleball, at Amazon.com and better bookstores everywhere. The next clip I want to play for you is from the gentleman you heard at the top of the show. If you live in the villages, you already know and love him. And if you live anywhere else and you have access to YouTube, you definitely need to get to know and love him. Of course, I'm talking about Coach Mo. This gentleman gives great advice, no nonsense, straight for the jugular type advice. And if you want to play winning pickleball, he is definitely the guy to listen to. Now, in this clip, Coach Mo and I are talking about how closely related tennis is to pickleball. And yet, in tennis, having a dynamite smoke and serve is very important, especially in men's tennis. But in pickleball, a serve really isn't that big of a deal. And I said to him, why is that? And here's his take on it.
Well, if you could follow your serve in, like tennis, serve and volley, it may be worth trying to ace somebody or trying to hit a ball that they would cough up and hit right to you when you get to the no volley zone line. But you can't do that. You have to stay back and let the ball bounce. So you've taken that opportunity away. And tennis, you have two chances for the serve. Pickleball, you have one. So if you try and rip the ball deep to the corner, like some of the coaches tend to tell you, not a good idea. Unless you practice it 3 hours a day and you can do it and never miss it but once a month. Once a month. Because all your opponent needs is a pulse to win the point if you miss your serve. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's done. You don't know if you lost 1 point, 0 points, or 5 points unless you're clairvoyant. So if you watch the best pickleball players in the country on YouTube, they don't rip their serve. They just get it in. And if they can get it in deep and never miss it, they will do that. But they don't hit it that hard. The same with the return of serve. The return of serve is not important unless you miss it. Because if you miss your return of serve, you're missing 10% of all the points of the game. 1 point is only an 11-point game. It's almost 10%. Mm-hmm. You cannot afford to give, say you're playing a team as good as you are, you can't afford to give them 1 point each game, or even 2 points a game. Some people do. So the only thing you want to do when you return a serve is get it in, down the middle, left versus left foot, 6 feet from the baseline, give you enough leeway for error, cause a little confusion between the two players, get it over the low part of the net, and the most important thing is hit it soft enough for your speed so that you will get to the line with your partner, get up with your partner before they even touch the ball. If you're smashing your return of serve, trying to win the point and missing it occasionally, not a good idea, okay? Always get the return of serve in soft enough so that you get all the way to the line. I have to hit it really soft because I'm the slowest guy in the villages. So I just hit it as fast as it takes me to get to that line. And once I get to that line, that's the place you win the point from. You don't try to win the point from anywhere but the line. Win it from the line, and that's the place, the highest percentage place to hit the ball.
That's Coach Mo. You can see him at pickleballcoach.com, and more great advice coming up from Coach Mo in a future episode of The Pickleball Show. After this, just a couple of things you can do to help make sure this show is a success. We'll be right back.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
And we're back to the inaugural episode of the Pickleball Show. I'm your host, Chris Allen. What are some things, just a couple of quick little things that you can do to help us make this show a success? Well, first of all, I want you to know we appreciate your help. And it's very important in the first 8 weeks or so that a podcast launches, especially when it gets listed in the iTunes store. The first 8 weeks are critical. And so one thing you can do is subscribe. If you normally take your podcasts via iTunes, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you see fit, please leave us a 5-star review. An honest review, that does more than anything to boost a show up in the rankings and really get it noticed. And so that would be a tremendous help if you feel that it is appropriate. And you don't have to leave a big, long review. Just one sentence is fine. Like, I love playing pickleball and, the guy that hosts the show is really cool or something like that. And, I'm just making that up off the top of my head. You can say whatever you want to say. But that would be a tremendous help to us, and I would really appreciate it as, it helps us grow the community and helps other pickleball players find the show. And also another thing that's going to really make this show good is for you to make your voice heard. And like I said at the top of the show, we've got several ways for you to do that. The first and best way probably is to call our toll-free number, which is 1-855-PB-SHOW. And that translates into 855-572-7469. And it's a voicemail line, so it's open 24/7. It'll just record whatever you have to say. And we want to hear it all. We want to hear questions. When I have a guest on, I'm going to go to the pickleball line and play a question and get them to answer it for us. We want to hear comments, rants, raves. If you've got a pet peeve that bugs you, we heard from Gail earlier about pet peeves. If you've got something that you want to get off your chest, this is the number to call to do it. It's 1-855-PB-SHOW. 855-572-7469. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it real quick just so you'll know. Won't be any surprises. You'll know what you're going to hear if you call it. Let me dial the number, and I'll put it on my speakerphone here on the iPhone. And you ought to be able to hear it over the mic here.
Hey, it's Chris Allen from the Pickleball Show. At the sound of the beep, please tell us your name. First name only is fine. Where you're calling from, and your question, comment, rant, rave, whatever you got. Ready? Here comes the beep.
Hey, it's Chris from Asheville, North Carolina. Just wanted to say you're doing a great job. But, you're a little annoying, but I love pickleball, so I'll look past that and I'll actually listen to the show in spite of the host. All right, cool. Keep it up. Thanks. There you go. See? It's just that easy. Whatever comment you want to leave, we want to hear from you. It's 1-855-PB-SHOW. You can also email us. The address is mail, M-A-I-L, at pickleballshow.com. That's our web URL, too. Just go to pickleballshow.com and you'll find us on the internet. Twitter, our Twitter handle is at Pickleball Show, and Facebook.com/Pickleball Show. So there you go. Lots of different ways to contact us, and I want you to take advantage of each and every one of them. We want to hear from you. This is your show. It's about the sport that you and I both love. Finally, huh? You ever drive around in your car, you're listening to sports talk radio, and they're talking football, they're talking basketball, they're talking baseball, soccer, hockey. They're even talking about cricket sometimes. But they're never talking about pickleball, are they? Well, that's all changed now. We've got our own show. I want you to join us each and every Monday. A new podcast episode will be available to you, and we are going to have some fun. We'll be talking to the legends, the greats. They're going to be giving away their tips, their tricks, their secrets, ways you can up your game and play winning pickleball. Looking forward to it. I'm Chris Allen. This is the Pickleball Show. And until next time, keep 'em low.